Welcome to Reality Queens. I'm Rachel Reilly, I guess.
Hi, I'm Jenn Hoffman.
Hi, I'm Bobby Goodsby.
We are so excited to talk to you about this crazy week in reality TV. Jenn, do you want to take it away and tell us what they can expect today?
This week felt like years. So much has happened that I feel like we're on like Big Brother 36, but it is still the same season. We started out on Sunday where T-Core became the head of household, and which was very stressful to her because T-Core does not like to make decisions. So that was like, you see the look on her face was like, oh no. And then she held summit meetings with everyone, which I think maybe we might have touched on. And then people had their shot to take Tucker out finally if he did not win a veto comp. And guess what? Tucker did not win a veto comp, so we will discuss all the different things, plus the punishments, plus the veto comp itself had lots of stuff going on. Angela had another meltdown, and then there was an eviction last night, plus rumors about whether the Big Brother arena is going to stay or go. Rumors about whether there's going to be a jury or not, whether it's going to be 7, what's going on with that, and the new Ainsley twist. Plus, or we could just open this way. Like Tucker Dog, he's like, I'm gonna get rid of the curse of the Bambino, boss did. But I'm like, it's not just one curse. He had 4 curses. Can we open that way? Can we discuss the 4 curses?
Hold on, then.
I really like puzzle, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
I like how I wish he had said that last night. He was like, I like games, but okay. So curses. First person to enter the house. 5th HOH. The winner of or the person who had the OTEV, unitard costume is always gone out. Yeah.
And the 4th week costume or whatever. 5th week costume, I guess.
Yeah. And every single person so far that has been gotten rid of, and this is freaky, like some Final Destination AI stuff, has voted no for Ainsley.
That is really weird. That is a really weird coincidence. And I did not believe it until someone posted, I wish I would have pulled this clip picture, this picture of every single person that voted no. So then if this continues to happen, I think we're going to also lose Cam, right? Don't we lose Quinn? I think
Quinn voted yes.
Quinn did vote yes. Okay. I need to find this photo.
Not surprised at losing Cam. And also, if the second HOH curse is true, because that's never been broken, we would lose Chelsea.
Wait, I thought someone broke the second HOH curse.
Oh, did they?
I think so.
So we have one weird thing with the
too many curses to keep up with.
There's a lot of BB curses.
Yeah, it's a lot of superstition.
The OTEV veto one, people argue that Dan has won once, but he won, but in the one that he got, that one was season 14, and he did not win. He was the runner-up, so it still holds up. So people online that were arguing about that, I'm like, nope. Even though he won a Big Brother, it was not the Big Brother where he had that curse. So
next thing you know, people are going to be like the first to open the fridge door in the house at noon on the first day. That's curse. Okay.
I saw. Yeah,
I have a list of. I have the picture. I'll screenshot it, and then I'll send.
I'm all about the fun ones.
I know. The fun ones are fun. It's like in the end, it's like the third person evicted will not win. Like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously,
it's like, what are we doing here?
Exactly. Why are I don't really want to point out my boobs, but they're so bizarrely crooked that I feel like it almost needs to be addressed. Like, what is going on?
You totally just wanted to point that out. No judging.
I did only because it's weird.
Okay, here is our curse. All right, so if they stick with the curse, it looks like Rubina. Or no, sorry, that's not Rubina. I think that's Chelsea, Cam, Chemo, Cedric. Is that Cedric in the bottom?
Yeah, so we got Cedric, we got Matt, we've got Kenny, we've got Brooklyn, they're all gone, including Tucker. So the remaining ones to go would be Cam, Chemo, T-Core, Rubina, and that's it, I believe. And the rest all voted
T-Core
yes.
vote no? Yeah, T-Core voted no.
Yeah,
So
she
Quinn
voted no.
voted yes. Joseph, yes. Angela, yes. Mackenzie, yes. Leah, yes. Rubina, yes. Oh my God.
Well, that checks out because if if you target Rubina and then you decide to go after the T-Core Chemo thing, then that starts to fall apart. Like this would check out.
It would check out until this week because, well, we won't get to spoilers yet. To spoilers yet, but so far, why is this so accurate? Why is this
so weird, right? That is freaky only because we're all like, AI, like what is going on with AI? And then they decide to do their first Big Brother AI. And when they said no to the AI, if you say no to AI, you lose. You get sent home. It's a lesson. It's a message.
Yeah, that is weird though. That is like a weird coincidence.
Yeah. If it keeps going, it's going to be, it will freak me out a little bit. But if
that will freak me out if it keeps going.
Okay,
so let's start with we walk into our week. With our T-Core HOH, and she doesn't know who to nominate. And I need a sound effect for this. Someone please give me tears. It is the most ridiculous thing. Your HOH. Like, yes, thank you. I need someone to volunteer to go on the block. It's like,
they're
why?
all like that. I don't want to get blood on my hands. Right. It's Big Brother. As
Big
Angela said, it's fucking Big Brother.
The whole job is to get blood on your hands.
Yes.
And just seeing all of them crying for her and following her around the house on that first episode, I was just like, what are we doing here?
Oh,
like, how is not?
It was
so
bizarre.
Tears.
So
It was as if she had just been told she only had the rest of the duration of the Big Brother house to live, or as if she had just been on the block and had some tremendous, crazy, it was fun fixing time. Is if she had just had some crazy like loss, then a big comeback.
Yeah.
So no, it's like they're all kissing each other's asses, and like anytime anything happens, like her winning and the amount of that they're following her and thinking she's some sort of goddess and their best friend and a guru and they love her. When meanwhile, except for Chelsea, who has shown her no allegiance, I don't really feel like she has any allegiance to anybody besides Chemo. So it's so weird.
Agree. Well, I do feel like it was in this situation, because she had worked with Rubina and Tucker in the week before, I do think she had alliance to that 4, because I think she just had made that alliance with the 4. Sure, Angela's in it, but like not really. But like, in my opinion, and that was like Tucker's HOH. So going into this next HOH week, he should essentially have been safe. But he volunteers. Who volunteers? Stop volunteering. If I could grab these people by the head,
he did try to do a takesies backsies, but you can't do a takesies backsies.
You can't.
He thought it was invincible.
I volunteered, dog, but like I was just being polite and I didn't really mean it, dog. I just, I'm a stand-up guy, so I'm gonna, do what I nope. He should never, ever, ever, ever have put those words out of his mouth.
Yeah.
That's because she wouldn't have. He was in an alliance with her. She was afraid of him. She, you know what I mean? Like this would have gone so differently had he just, but that he also had said he did not want to go to jury. And he also has like a big career waiting for him at home. He does well in his life. He owns a home in Williamsburg. I mean, I lived in Williamsburg, like right by where he lives, and the rent on a 2-bedroom there, that's the rent, is $5,000 to $6,000 in the hood where he lives. So, I mean, to him, the money would have been great, but it seems like to him, he liked being, I think he was playing as hard as he could when he could play. But for him, this was like he said on his ex, I like games. It was just a game. So if you're so strategic that you're sure you want to win Big Brother, you're not going to volunteer. But if you're also kind of an agent of chaos and want to test things, that could have been why.
100%. But at the end of the day, do not volunteer to go on the block. Period.com. Pawns go home. Volunteers go home. I don't care if you have a veto and you have a full AI arena. it doesn't matter. It's not going to always turn in your favor. And Tucker, I think, got into the headspace where it was too much for him because he had been so confident with winning everything that he forgot he's not invincible. What do you think, Bobby? What's your take?
No, 100%. He thought he was invincible. He thought that he could just go over and he's given 2 chances to take himself down. And he thought it was going to be no problem. He thought that he's done it every single time. But I feel like the one thing that really hurt him and might have gotten in his mindset is because he won HOH last week, he didn't have to be put in that position where he basically got a week off, right? So I think it was able for him to kind of lay low and just enjoy his time off. But then when it came around where, okay, I might go up again, he kind of got nervous. It seemed like he started second guessing because we saw a lot more clips this week of him second guessing going up and offering himself up than we ever did in the past when he actually did it.
That's true.
100%.
And also being down on himself. He's never really been down on himself. Like he almost pulled the Kenny for a second. Like, I don't even want to be here. And then, you know, with like not knowing who to trust, like Mackenzie coming to him with like accurate information and him being like, no. And then finding out it is true and being like, damn, dog. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think he like started to think about going home and how this was like risky at this point in the game. So we come to the veto and it comes down to, of course, who does it come down to? Tucker and Cam. Like, of course. Like, I just feel like this is continuing, right? Like, I feel like we see this with Cam each time, which
once Cam woke up,
you're right. Yeah, it is feeling like Cam is like, I'm finally here to play. And I've noticed this Cam and Chelsea budding, like we've seen it for a few weeks, but now it's definitely like obvious that they're like working together and they're there, like they're their final 2. And we've seen it for a few weeks, but now I think it's like, okay, they're cementing this. This is like actually happening. So he loses, takes a punishment, and Cam wins the veto, which it's disappointing for all of us at home watching.
I was like, you know what's so funny? As much as it's the weirdest thing. Cam is the most likable dude.
Very likable.
He's likable. Yeah. He's sincere. He's nice. He's handsome. He's personable. But like, because there's just so many other like chaotic people and fun people and players until he woke up, like he would be the type of person you'd think everyone would be rooting for. But like, instead it was disappointing. You were like, oh no, when he won.
Yeah,
like
100%. And I root for him still, but it is like, it's my Tucker or my Cam. I'm going to root for Tucker.
Of course.
The problem is Cam is just boring TV. Cam is boring TV. Let's be real. Tucker is very exciting, very, you know, on the edge, could do anything at any point. Of course, we're going to want to keep that guy around. The guy that's just like, oh, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
that's just not fun to watch.
It's the same reason why Angela is like, you know, a terrible player and the most annoying, it's just like unhinged, insane thing. And I'm like, may she never leave this house. Like, never.
Yeah,
so speaking of Angela, I think I liked her punishment this week the best. I know, Bobby, you had written down, what are the punishments this week?
Yeah, so the punishments were the matrix that Joseph got, the AI assistant that Tucker got, and the punishment perseverance that Angela got.
And then Mackenzie won the trip to Hawaii.
Right.
Because she knew that you would end up with that veto. So that was like not a punishment, but also it worked out.
Right. It worked out for her. She didn't get the veto, but she got the Hawaii trip.
Consolation prize, but it worked out.
Yeah. So this is our clip. I had to pull this one.
Body for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Whatever. Tomorrow's a free day. Fuck it.
Get these stairs out of here. Thank you guys.
I can't go to bed with her like that. I would feel like
I should finish it up right now, though.
No, you're fine.
No.
You have 5 hours.
It'll be.
She's just so dramatic. It's just like calm down. Like she has to have the entire house like rubbing her feet and like rubbing her shoulders because she's like cold. Like she barely had to do anything. Like be outside, like walk around.
In her defense, they were calculating it and they were saying something. It was like 8 to 10 miles. And I don't think that she walks 8 to 10 miles every day. I don't know about her fitness routine, but I don't think so.
Okay.
I know that when I was in my 20s, 30s, even like, like just turning 40, like last year, I'd been like, walk 8 miles, that's fine, just over that long period of time. But right now, I might be like Angela Hubbard in the corner, like freaking out to myself because I don't know. I feel like if you have to walk constantly and even though she had time, but you don't think you do,
Yeah.
and people want you to go home. So like, that like you need to accomplish this. You can't just quit it. Like you have Angela's temperament of like very easy to lose it, no sleep, like that's a perfect recipe. Like it was nobody better to have won that, but nobody worse.
It was amazing that she won that. Yeah, because it just like was so funny. I felt like when I saw her in the backyard in that yellow jogger, like just walking around, I was just like, maybe you need to walk around, Angela, not like trying to be like throwing shade, but like, that's probably going to help her mentally and like probably helps her like just in the Big Brother house, like in general. Like she's always like hiding behind doors and like we've seen her crouching in the back, like listening in on conversations. So maybe this is like the best thing for her to like have to be doing something. You know what I mean?
What's crazy is you're right, because you saw people come out and help her, especially like MJ was really helping her along. So they were forming some bonds and some trust because it's Angela, because she was a little tired and a little aggravated, that just set off insane paranoia. So instead of this being like a pity thing and people being like, wow, Angela really did it, and her building some kind of like bonds with people, she just destroys it in like 2 seconds by losing her ever-loving mind.
Well, and I get it that it wouldn't be very uncomfortable, especially getting splashed by all that stuff every probably, 45 minutes to an hour. And it is hot out here, but in the middle of the night, it can get cold here in Southern California. Even in the summertime, you get wet, and at 5 o'clock in the morning, it's going to be cold. So I can get that part. But let me just say, this was a little bit of, in my opinion, a weak competition for them, or not competition, punishment for them to put in there. I thought just taking balls back and forth was pretty boring. Obviously, Angela makes it extremely entertaining television every single time. So I do appreciate that Angela had this punishment. And I'm not underestimating what she did. I'm sure it was difficult. And the fact that everyone in the house stayed up to help her and root her on was great. I think if it was anyone else, we would have been pretty bored watching that.
Yes.
Oh, 100%.
Although, you know what? Yeah. Yes, it does strategically do kind of like what happened with Joseph, although we can get to what really happened with Joseph. But since they're so busy doing that for so long, it does take them away from conversation, from gaming. Like, so part of the punishment is not just like that it's stressful, and like when you have to just do a repetitive thing for literally 10 hours, I think is how long it took her. That does make you a little crazy. So they wanted to make a player a little crazy, but it also isolates them from gameplay talk, because while people can come out there and rub your back, whatever, you're not going to really be having any secret.
But it also isolates her, like I said, from like the actual like sneaking around and crouching under a table and like hiding in the corner, and like she's doing the paranoia to herself by doing that. So like being outside, like forcing her to do something is actually like great for her. So I mean, I don't know. I feel like it was great TV because she just like lost her mind doing it. But I feel like she could have used that as an opportunity too, to kind of like get out of the game. Because that's like when I had a punishment similar to that, I used it as an opportunity to like take a break from the game, because like you can't do anything. I didn't have to walk around. Mine was like I was stuck in a stockade and I couldn't get out of it. And we were literally like, because I was trying to beat Monet, like it was an endurance comp or something. So I got like, ended up my punishment was like staying in the stockade for that many amount of hours or minutes or something. But like I took that as an opportunity to like get out of the game and to like, make people come to you and like give you water and make them feel bad for you and things like that. So it is an opportunity to make a relationship versus what she did.
That is very true.
She made it
and
hilarious.
that she had like 2.5 hours left in the punishment too. So she was like acting like she was barely crawling at the last few steps.
Oh, I
Like,
know.
you could sit there for like an hour and just take
Yeah.
a break when you have 10 left if you really need to.
Right. Oh, she's hilarious. It was great.
Oh,
So, and
I
then
love it.
let's talk about Tucker's. This is a great one too.
Hey, baby AI assist. I'm feeling artsy. Name at least 5 different media from which sculptures can be formed.
Okay.
I love it because he's like in the middle of the night, like sleeping, and he has to like get up to like do sculptures or something. Like, this was such a hilarious punishment.
That would have bothered me the most because I would have been like, oh my God, I need my sleep, or just to be
Right.
not, and then they can just mess with you at any time. And then
Anytime.
he already has the duties of doing the AI instigator if that's still going on. And he's trying to manage like whether he's the target. That's like the worst for him. And he now has the curse, another curse on. It's like, that was just so much.
But I
for Tucker.
feel like he was also really funny with it. Like, I think he
Yeah.
made it fun and funny. Like, I wonder, like, I think that would also have been a good punishment for Angela, because I wonder if she would have been able to handle it as well. But I thought Tucker was such a good sport, and like he just was like, yeah, let's do it, let's go, like every time.
Yeah.
He was definitely a good sport about it, but oh my God, if I had to hear his robot voice one more time, I was seriously so over it. Like, if I was in that house, I would have told him, just shut up, just say it like normal. We get it.
Yeah,
Like, we get it. It was just so
That was
much.
funny. I think that was part of the punishment, though, right? Didn't he have to do it, or was that
Did
like
he
a-
have to
a
say it
choice?
like that? No,
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
was a
see that
choice.
part. If that's the case, my God.
Oh my gosh. He's doing it to annoy them back.
I think he was doing it to annoy them back. Okay, so now let's
Joseph-
talk about. I
Joseph-
cannot.
Joseph-
Go ahead. Yeah.
It'll
I
go.
was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say,
Go.
I can't handle the 24-hour isolations. Like, what do you guys think?
Well,
They're rough.
it's interesting because it takes somebody out of gameplay.
Mhm.
And then also
Yeah.
Joseph now has one of the biggest scandals of Big Brother, because Joseph did not own number 1 or number 2 in his little potty, but I guess a number 4. I don't know. I don't want to get us demonetized, but Joseph pleasured himself and admits it when he gets out.
I did not see that. What?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
I didn't
admits
see
it.
that either.
Oh, he had must maybe thinking about Leah too much, maybe the frustration. I think it was Cam. He admitted it too.
I finally got some
He
privacy.
did that. He choked the chicken, rubbed the not Rabina, did the thing. And then Cam's question back to him wasn't like, oh my God, because he has, first of all, he did that to the sound of Matt's voice, which is even hilarious. Maybe he was trying to block Matt's voice out and needed to relieve himself. But Cam's
Maybe he
first question when he told him when he asked him was, what did you do with it?
Oh my God.
Dear God.
Swear, these people. But I guess, like, what else are you gonna do in 24-hour isolation? I don't know.
Yeah. And then you have
Not
a little
Not that.
I mean, he didn't have to tell any of what's crazy is that nobody
Yeah.
really knows. The production could have thought he was just pooping for a long time behind the tent or hiding. And
Yeah, there's no cameras behind that tent.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the fact that he went and like had to tell someone about it right away too, it's like
He
it's
was
like
proud of
double
it.
exhibition. Like he had to do it and then he had to tell somebody he did it. But also Cam had been talking about how horny he's been and that he can't take it for the past few weeks. So maybe he thought he was bonding with him. I don't know.
Probably.
All I know is
Well, that's what I
Joseph.
was gonna say. Like,
Yeah.
you're literally in Big Brother. You don't have any like other opportunities because there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
So
That's his only opportunity. I wish Lana, the cone from Too Hot to Handle, had shown up and had been like, that is a $6,000 penalty from Prize Pot.
no, that's what they needed. Yes, that is what
Now-
they needed.
I will say though, this punishment was by far my favorite out of all of them. The
Really?
Matt quotes that he had, just the things that he was saying that they had him saying, I was dying. I was laughing my ass off. And I'm sorry, Joseph thinks he's a character in this house, right? Like into the house,
Oh, yeah.
Joseph thinks that he is like this really
main
funny character. Maybe people hate him, all this stuff. We don't care about you, dude. You're not entertaining. And guess what? They still gave it up to you on a silver platter. Here, be entertaining, do something funny, and you just see him sit there the entire time and have like one or two. No, sure, like no one. You're not entertaining at all, dude. This is why people don't care about you in the house. I'm sorry, it was bugging me.
The only interesting thing he did, while natural, and of course there's no problem with doing it, was that the only thing he decided to do was pleasure himself behind a tent, which made him now like super creepy. Like he wasn't already like, hi, I'm Joseph and I'm a little bit obsessed with Leah and I'm lurking. I have a porn stash, but I'm also going to do this. But you're right. He could have been talking game with the camera. He could have done it like a giant diary room of who he likes, who he hates. I mean, that is a diary room for 24 hours. He could have spilled everyone's secrets, told his life story, told about other stuff, given his real gameplay, because unless he was paranoid that they were able to watch him or something, but like obviously not, because he did that. So
I think when they go in there for the solitary, I think that they just don't know what else to do. Like they're, especially dudes, like they just like can't handle, like they don't know how to talk to the camera. Because I know when like we see this happen every time they do this like punishment, like nobody really does anything with it because they're just like, they sit in there and they're like, what do I do? I mean, just imagine being in the Big Brother house. At that point, you're in just a little box. You have no one to talk to. I probably would just try to sleep the whole time, like whatever, because it's 24 hours.
I looked at those beds and I was like, oh, those suck. But I definitely would have done. That's what I said. I was watching with my daughter and she's like, what'd you do? And I was like, it looks like those beds are just tables, but I was like, I would just try to sleep. But there's Matt yapping in his ear. Dan, then again, planned his own funeral, that dramatic thing when he was in isolation. Feels like he's the only person who made some good use of it. But that was just him thinking. He wasn't talking to the camera either. So you're right. Like,
I feel
him
like
and his little DJ set.
When Dan did it, I also feel like he took that time to like be creative because he was like finally isolated and out of the game. So that is a good chance for people to like reevaluate that this is a game. You have to like, get your head in it. But yeah, so it was crazy that I love the prizes and punishments because I always think that they make some really good, we see what happens with like how the people respond and all that stuff. And I hate it like in the house because you just want to win the prizes. But I mean, good for Mackenzie to get the Hawaiian trip. Like good for her. Like if I went back on Big Brother, I would get the money and the trips. That's what I'll tell you that much. Money and the trips, because you don't know who's going to win and nothing's guaranteed. But you know what? The money and the trips are.
And of course, Tucker gave the money thing away to T-Core, but that was obviously strategic. But I'm still thinking to myself, like, what a week for Tucker. Like,
what a week.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, and look, well, in the end, he did get 20 grand for the instigator.
So what did you guys think about the instigator? I have some clips for us. So yeah, hold on.
The other night I saw Tucker and Rubina holding hands. We should have got Rubina out when we had the chance because we know mentally Tucker wouldn't be able to handle it without her. Can you say showmance? Pentagon for life.
What? What is the Pentagon? I don't know anything.
So, that's it, Gwen? You didn't want to just say it to us?
Happy I could share in such a official way.
I love his response. It was like,
what's crazy is like, okay, Bobby and I just both gave it a thumbs down, but that part was thumbs up accidentally. But okay, this is confusing. Tucker did it to try to make it look like it's not himself,
right?
Which ended up then putting ideas in Rubina's head and upsetting Rubina. And another thing he did, this is like the worst week ever for Tucker, ended up screwing him in the end. And then finally, once he started doing funnier stuff, like the random grocery lists, which was on the live feed.
I have that one too. You want to see it? Okay, I have this one too.
Texas girl here. Oh. Here's a little bit of info you might want to remember. The purple horse jumped over an orange cat last night while the stars shine bright. Is that Orion's belt?
Just like the random stuff. Like I thought that was funny, and they're bored in the house, so I thought that was like a good instigator. Like
because I got them thinking, is there going to be a challenge related to this? So, but he did it too late. If he had a plan, like I'm consistently going to either give information that could upset people, blow up people's games, do whatever, or I'm going to make everything riddles or things people think they have to memorize. So the whole house is distracted thinking they have to solve some big riddle to save themselves or win money or whatever. Like, but it's a thumbs down because he's Tucker. He should know what he's entertaining, but he was all over the place.
He was totally all over the place.
It wasn't entertaining in like the aspect of what he said while they were the projectiles. Like whatever was said there for the most part was kind of like, what? Like, where are they going with this? Why would he have him say that? But the fact that it was able to instigate suspicion on Angela and, you know, the whole thing with Rubina on the very first one with Quinn. Yes, that was cool. I did like that they were able to do that. But at the end of the day, as a whole, I think the twist was kind of lame. I think it was pretty boring to watch as far as the TV show goes. They just really wanted to use that screen and show their AI format. But outside of that, I did like that. I won't give it a complete 0 because I did like that it did stir up a few things in the house, which ultimately kind of helped lead Tucker to his demise at the same time. So kind of crazy.
I think he realized. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jim.
I think he realized that it bit him in his ass. Yeah. So like then he got scared to do more and then started switch to the random thing, and then it was messy and it sucked. So I think that's what happened. Maybe if he had seen like more of like, ooh, now Angela's in trouble, now this, now if that had happened and it hadn't just upset Rubina and then kind of started to ruin his game and, you know, trigger, you know what I mean? Like it triggered so much negative stuff for him. So maybe I'm on the fence over whether this would be good, because we even said like, what is this going to be? It's probably going to suck. But at first it did cause a lot of, you know, unintended consequences, which is even more fun almost. And then he recognized it and then just stopped. That's why it sucked.
Yeah, I agree. And I like, so I don't hate that he pinned calling out the showmance on Quinn. And I think Rubina's reaction was the problem in that situation, because if she wouldn't have had that reaction, then I think it would have not been how it like devolved into the rest of the week. Right. Like if I was Rubina, I would just be like, okay, Quinn, you know, like call out Quinn's crush on Leah or something. But like, she started crying, and so then I think he was like, "Oh no!" It was a big deal.
Her reaction was so strange because she wanted it so bad, and she was questioning whether he really liked her or not. So the fact that it came out, and then he became more public about it. Then he started kissing her in public. They started. That should have made her more sure about them being together, but instead it made her feel exposed to other people, and she started questioning him even more, which I understand questioning it because it could have been a fake showmance and whatever. But that being said, like, you're totally right, Rachel. Her reaction to it was like the problem.
The problem, yeah. But then we did get this, so I liked this.
Not be it.
I'm making out. Sorry, I thought I pulled the longer clip for that one, but we got their whole like that was the fight and then their like makeup or whatever. But that's fine.
I was totally ready for production to like step in there and be like, break it up, you two.
I know. No way, production loves that shit. Are you kidding me?
I know they do.
They're like, keep going. Yeah. So then, I think this ended up being a week where we had everyone like Chelsea and Cam and everyone that was like jealous of Tucker anyways, or like noticed that he was just kind of the alpha. They had their opportunity after Cam won veto to keep going for it, right? So they were like, hey, like we could actually have a chance to get out Tucker, and let's make sure that this happens. I almost didn't think they had the votes. And I feel like I was kind of surprised that they didn't. And I think they would have, do you think they would have needed Leah? Is that or was that never a thing?
I think they would have needed Leah. I think Leah was crucial to this actually happening and going through, in my personal opinion. I think that for them, it kind of worked out exactly as they needed to, because I think at the end of the day, Angela wouldn't have voted that way. So as long as Mackenzie won, that was what mattered.
Yes.
That's all that they needed. But then, because I thought Mackenzie was like, it looked like from what we saw from the episodes, because on the live feeds, it didn't look like it was a lot of Mackenzie, but on the episodes, it looks like it was a lot of Mackenzie's doing as well. It was like Chelsea and Cam looked like they started it. Then they pulled Mackenzie in. Because Mackenzie has a relationship with Leah, she was able to pull Leah in, is kind of what I was seeing on the show in the feeds. But like, I wasn't sure if Leah was going to, just because she had a relationship with Rubina too and Tucker. And it really doesn't benefit Leah to get rid of Tucker. So I do think that that's also odd, because having Tucker in the house actually is good for Leah's game, because it like helps to keep Leah there longer, because Tucker's not going to go after Leah ever.
Leah is like a main character to herself. So I think she was just like, why is Tucker with Rubina and not me? All the guys in the house should be following me around. And the fact that I have two that I am not interested in. However, if they do stop, there will be vengeance. But I like to talk for 9 hours, because I can talk for a complete hour straight. I can talk more than Jenn ever possibly could, or Rachel, which is like a feat. She held the Guinness Book of World Records for it. And also, why aren't you obsessed with me, Tucker? And you're not. So since you're not obsessed with me, I can't trust that you will keep me and you'll keep Rubina over me. So bye.
Yeah. But it just like, yeah, he would keep Rubina over her, but he's not going to ever vote Leah out, and he's not going to like target her. So that just like, I don't understand the thought process for her.
I thought that she maybe knew if she's smart or not. I cannot tell with Leah, although she's made very smart decisions most of the time. I thought that she knew that Tucker is definitely close to Joseph, because Leah is kind of close to Joseph.
Right.
So Leah knows that they're very close. So I think she was like, oh, that they have a final two, and I'm kind, you know what I mean? Like,
you're giving Leah way too much credit.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like she thought that like that
she definitely doesn't think that. Because again, minus the final two thing, if Joseph is close to Tucker and Joseph likes Leah, Joseph doesn't want to get rid of Leah, Joseph is gonna try to keep Tucker safe and convince Tucker to keep Leah safe too. And Joseph and Tucker are friends. Like, yeah, it just doesn't make sense that she would vote him out, especially over Angela, because Angela doesn't really we don't see Angela and Leah even having a relationship. I don't think that they do. So I think that this is a big mistake in Leah's game.
There was a little while where I think it was shown a little more on the live feeds where she was being, because people were kind of making fun of it. Like, oh my God, is Angela trying to make her another one of her daughters that she's going to like, you know, give like a weird mental problem. They have to go on Dr. Phil there was like a little period of time where somehow they were hanging out and they were a little bit closer. And then I feel like because of the frenemy situation with MJ and Leah, that when MJ started helping Angela out in the backyard, then Leah like withdrew and was like, well, maybe not. So I don't know. I mean, what you're saying makes more sense, but I wonder if Leah was just thinking like, oh my God, in the end, like, if I get screwed over because these bros, and like, also this is the one shot, like you may never have another shot.
All I think Leah was thinking is that Tucker is like winning everything.
The biggest threat.
Get him out. But at the end of the day, Tucker's going to go home eventually, because this might be the only shot, but like, he's going to not win the game. Like, he's too much of a target. So that shot will happen again. So it's like, for her, it does. For Cam and Quinn, it makes sense. For Leah, it doesn't make sense. So I don't know. Like, because also like Tucker, his next game move, Angela goes home, Tucker wins or something. His next game move is going to be to target Cam and to target Quinn. So it's just, I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me.
I think in their head, this is the only time they've seen him vulnerable. So let's just deal with it now. Yeah. And that's at the end of the day what it comes down to. Because God forbid he wins HOH next week, and then all he has to do is win one competition the week after. It's like, then this steamroll continues. We've got the shot, take it.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, I definitely see that, but it's not. I feel like Cam, yes. Quinn, yes. Chelsea, yes. Again. Mackenzie, maybe. Leah, I think someone needed to work harder on Leah. And the fact that he didn't have T-Core voting this week was a big like risk for her too, which is again goes back to T-Core. Why would you even put your ally up? He's not coming after you. So why would you like let this happen? That I think this move is what's going to eventually do T-Core's game in. And I think we're going to see in the next few weeks, and I could be totally wrong, but I think in the next few weeks, we're going to see Chelsea, Cam, that alliance rise to power, and T-Core, Chemo are just going to be like, they'll be just going home as casualties.
Right. Well, you see now that like MJ is so formidable, like she's won so many different things.
Yeah.
She won this. So they get to the AI arena and no one's sure what they're going to do. They have all these different gameplays and you're not sure. They're like, okay, I think, it's going to be Angela if it's this and if it's this, but they are all kind of expecting Tucker to win. So they're not really sure what to do, but they know she's a good player. So, she's freaking out and doesn't know. One of my favorite parts of this was, okay, Tucker does the puzzle backwards, whatever. MJ wins it. She comes down, and then they all run away into one room and close just the two of them out. It was like almost like they were like, it was like they were like, that made me reminded me like a courtroom. It was almost like they were like going in there to make deliberations, like a jury, like a literal jury. They have on a Big Brother, like, okay, we're gonna. And then I was like, I assumed if they're all in the room together, they might be making a unified decision, especially because nobody came out fighting or arguing. So I was like, oh God, something's going to be unanimous. And then because like Joseph was like crying during Angela's speech when she was like, I love this so much. And he was like crying.
I think he knew at that point Tucker was going home.
Tucker was going, but then I also was like, or is he sad because he knows Angela's going to be so sad because they all just unanimously decided to oust her. And even though he doesn't like her, she is going to be emotionally affected. So that was entertaining and confusing, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
But why was Cam crying when Tucker's walking out? Did anyone else pick up on that? That was weird, right?
I think he still thought of him as like a bro. Like they had a little bit of a bond, being like, guys in the house, physical, in shape, kind of, the cool guys. Like that was like his counterpart in the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like he's going to miss that bond. But as far as his game and what he had to do for his game, he had to do that move.
Yeah. Well, and I guess we know, like, at the end of the day, this is like Tucker is the big winner, $20,000. And
is this the real deal?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I've never met someone like her. She's, she's an amazing person, and it's gonna be really hard to not see her for a while. But I'll be watching and rooting for her very hard. So.
I love them.
I was like, is that bullshit? I was like, is that acting? Because as Angela said, you're an actor. Tucker is an actor. Like Angela said, I've got Angela paranoid. I was like, you're an actor.
Even if he is, like, that did not look like acting. He was like legitimately, his like eyes were welling up. I think he's really sad he went home. I think he like didn't expect to leave this week. And then being out there talking about Rubina, I think everything is like dawning on him that he's like out of the game and he's not going back. There's no twist to save him. Like, I mean, where's the coup d'etat when we need it? Where is the coup d'etat?
No, I mean, I get it. I get it. It was nice having him in the house. He was a great competitor, all this stuff. But let's be real. He wasn't going to last long playing the way he was playing. Like when you play guns to the, everything going full steam ahead. Yeah, you're going to have it backfire in your face, especially when you're winning a lot. So to do that so early in this game, when we always say this game is a marathon, not a sprint. He was playing at the ultimate sprint we possibly have ever seen and killing it. But as soon as you lose a couple competitions, it can all come crashing down and people are going to take that opportunity to get you out. I mean, also bring up the fact that he was doing that damn puzzle the wrong way the whole time. Me and my wife doesn't even love the show, but she's been into the season because she thinks Angela's a train wreck. And she was even throwing stuff at the TV, be like, what are you doing, dummy? You're doing it the wrong way.
Puzzles.
He loves puzzles, but he can't do them the right way, apparently, sometimes.
Oh my God. Well, you know what? And that's the thing. I think Tucker came in there to be a huge character, to make a big impact, to be someone people don't forget. I think he thought it would be nice to win, but because he was so open about like not wanting to be on the jury, I think he came in there like, I And he kept saying it. This is boring. Like, I got to shake things up. Let's do stuff. He came in there to be an agent of chaos, but then also to show his character, because he did stay true to his word with people. He was kind. He had a graceful exit, an articulate exit. Like, I think, because then he just wasn't just an agent of chaos and just fun and goofy. He came up very smart. It's like, you know, when they say you can win Big Brother without winning Big Brother, like,
That's how
he's
you
a
do
Big
it.
Brother winner. Like, they'll put him on
Yeah.
the challenge. They'll put him on an All-Stars. If they have a couples one, they'll put him in Rubina. Like, I think, like, he came to do what he wanted. So maybe his gameplay didn't matter as much as just like, I'm going to be the most Tuckery Tucker I can be and let the world know that Tucker exists. So he did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he did. And he did it. And like, maybe he didn't want to make jury, but yeah, you're right. He did it. And it was great TV. And good job, Tucker. Hand clap to you. I think you deserve a
Very
hand
entertaining
clap.
television.
Now,
Yes,
very
Julie did
entertaining.
bring up that there's going to be some other AI twist. And I wanted to ask you guys, do you think there's a possibility that there is no jury? Because usually they tell you or give you some hint. And I'm like, what if there's no jury, or there's a weird jury thing and it has to do with AI? Because announcing what the next jury member should be one of the things coming up very soon. And this is strangely timed that there's going to be a huge AI thing.
Well, they're at the halfway mark. If
Yes.
they had an AI jury member or a jury from America or something, they would announce it soon. But the thing is like, I think at this point, they're probably just going to have a jury of 7, which is kind of odd for the bigger seasons, with especially like the longer seasons.
Yeah,
but
it's very weird.
I don't know what, like, I mean, in the past, haven't they had a jury of like 11? I mean,
yeah.
we've had some big juries. So
yeah.
The fact that we haven't gotten to jury yet, it's usually like the first 4 evicted, then jury starts. But now we're like getting to territory where it's like, it's either going to happen or it's not, like, what's going on, you know? So
that's what I was saying. I'm like, there's just, my antenna is up. Like, is there going to be a jury, or is there going to be some sort of weird AI jury? Like, that, I mean, I could be completely wrong. The jury could just be a jury of 7. And I'm just reading way too much into it. But I had this feeling like Big Brother 26 jury, there's something afoot.
Yeah,
I still think it's that. I think it's 7, a 7-person jury.
I would think 7-person jury too, but 7-person jury is so small.
It is.
So, and especially for a big, I'm trying to see how many people we've already lost. We've lost what? We've had how many evictions?
So go back to that photo you had of all of them on the wall. Like, we can get a picture of it.
Yeah.
So we had Matt, we had what's her face? Already forgot her name. Miss Glitter.
Brooklyn?
No, the glitter in your food. Lisa.
Yeah, Lisa. Okay, so we've lost 5 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, Kenny. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 people. Matt, Lisa, Kenny, Cedric, Brooklyn, Tucker. So right now we have 4, 8, 9, 10. Right now we have 10 people. So if one more person leaves, we could have a jury of we would have a jury of 7.
Yeah, so we're on pace. Yeah, 9 sounds normal. So after this week.
7, because
you're right. You're right. Duh.
With 2 people.
Yeah, because there would have to be one more, since they weren't told, unless they're just going to be told, right? You know what I mean? Like, usually you know in advance, unless it's a surprise.
So I think on the first season, I had 13 house guests, and we had a jury of 7. Then I think like I must have had more than 13 house guests. I don't know.
You had to have had more than 13.
But the 16 seasons just started having 16 house guests now.
Well, okay. If people don't want a spoiler, they should turn off their camera.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, because this is related to the jury. Spoiler alert. Since we now have a new head of household, and we know that head of household is Quinn. Quinn would definitely make this jury of 7. So he'd be the first jury member. That's what kind of segued me into this, because I'm like, well, he can't be voted out this week. So if it's a jury of 7, Quinn's the first jury member, no matter what. Unless he wins, unless he goes to the final 2 or win, you know?
Yeah.
So that is interesting. Quinn as a head of household is interesting because he likes to be a snake. He can't keep his mouth shut. And he's in alliances with both sides of this house, even though there aren't really sides.
I have 13 house guests.
That's crazy. It's hard to
Yeah.
believe that, right?
I had 13, and then they switched to 16 house guests in like 100 days or something crazy. And then I had 13 house guests, and I had 76 days. We must have had a jury of like 7 because I was the first person to jury.
How hard is it being in a house like that for that long? Like, you've made it to the end. How hard is it actually?
Well,
Yeah.
the hardest part of being in the house that long is that everything is like just becomes your reality. So you just you can't think of anything else of being real. And for me, leaving the house felt like the worst possible thing, like dying. It was like the worst possible thing that could happen. Like, you cannot leave the house. Like, your reality will come crashing down if you are evicted. And then, like, for me, for season 12, it was like leaving Brendan. So I wanted to fight so bad because I wanted to be there with Brendan and then win. And then, like, they were kind of like, I had the, fights with like all the people, basically everyone on the season. So it was kind of like also like proving them that I can stay. But then on season 13, it gets really weird at the end because with less people in that house, the house starts to just feel like it's weird. It's bigger. Like, you don't really want to talk to anyone. You don't have anything to talk about. Like, it's weird. I just remember randomly making sandwiches in the middle of the day and like looking around and nobody was there. And you're like, where is everyone? Why am I in like my own like world by myself? Because you don't have anything to like, take you out of that world. So it's just a weird experience.
And I'm sure you forget the cameras are there, everything.
Yes, everything. Well, even the cameras become part of the reality. So the cameras become part of like, it's normal that there's cameras. It's not like, it's not that you forget they're there. It just becomes normal. It becomes like accepted. Like, us as humans, we have this ability to like chameleon it, right? Like, we go into a situation and we like become used to it, or we can like change our like stripes, as they say, to like fit in with the situation. So as humans, like, you go into this world and you start to, the longer you're in it, the more accustomed you become to it, and the more adept you become to like surviving in this environment. So it's very interesting. That's why it's a social experiment, and it's
that's a great point for people that are watching this. People have asked me too. They're like, well, why would you act a certain way in front of the cameras? Or weren't you always conscious of the cameras? And I thought I would be. And the psychologist, when she did my psych test, thought I would be. And in a way I was, because if they got close to me, I was. But I also didn't care because it became my reality. So while I was conscious of them, my whole reality was that house. And then we were allowed to make phone calls in hours. You can call home, but they listen to your calls. I stopped. I had somebody I was dating serious. I was living with for a few years. And I was also calling my sister or my parent. I stopped. I was so like that was my reality that I had to separate it. And even though they gave us a lifeline to the outside world, like most competitions, you cannot make phone calls home. They did allow us, even though we were being filmed 24/7. I was like, I don't want, what is the outside world? Like, you just get this. You're so right, Rachel. It becomes your entire reality. Yeah. So everything else is like bizarre and weird and like, what is that to you? Like,
I'll let you guys finish up here. I gotta hop out because I gotta be in a meeting right now. You guys, it was great podcasting with you guys. Everybody follow me at Goodsby Bobby on Twitter. Any other social medias, you can find me, Bobby Goodsby. And yeah, crazy week. Sad to see Tucker go, but also now this opens up the game, and let's see how this really pans out. So you guys, I'll see you next week, and you guys keep going, and I will see you soon.
Bye.
All right, bye guys.
All right. So, did you get a chance to watch Bachelorette?
I did.
Okay, it's so good. Like the fantasy suites, and then we got the tell-all. So I felt like this week with Jenn, like she still doesn't. I know it's like she has to act like she doesn't know, but like it feels like she actually doesn't even know if she's ready for marriage.
I'm exhausted of her now because she's like, I just don't know if I'm worth it or if I'm worthy, and I'm so sick of not being given love. So I'm really gonna just be in love with Marcus. And then when Devin tells me that he loves me, I'm so not used to love or being loved. I'm just not going to be able to say anything to him. And she's literally they might as well have a recording of her saying that for every different person that she got close to at home. She kept saying that. She told every relative that. She told her own family. It's all she says is like, I don't think I'm worthy of love. I don't know if I'm ready for this. And then also like, but why aren't they ready for this? Is something wrong with me? And I'm like, maybe you are not ready for marriage and you need therapy.
Like
no,
maybe,
therapy. Maybe you need therapy. Like,
I have the clip. Look.
The biggest concern is that I could self-sabotage with Devin because I don't know how to navigate these feelings of having somebody just be there for me.
It's crazy how blue the water is.
Crazy is how blue your eyes are.
Wow.
Not blue.
Not blue at all.
Devin, like really, I can't tell you how much you mean to me.
Watch this, Lise. You can actually pinpoint the second when his heart rips in half. And now.
It's just like, oh, okay. First of all,
like his eyes aren't blue, A, so she wasn't paying attention. B, it's like the look on her face and her body language tells me that she doesn't. And then I know finally she says, I love you, dummy, or whatever to him. But I felt like that was not true. I felt like she just said it. And I was like, everything in her body language and everything she has said, I don't believe that she loves him. And I don't.
You told him his eyes were blue.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand, like, and then I don't know, is this like just editing? Like, but how could you just like say that just like as blue as your eyes? Like, is that just like, oh, it's such a great thing I'm thinking of, but your eyes aren't blue. So it's like, why would you say that? Like,
well, she should on Sam, which she should have. Shady Sam, who was just like the worst for being fake and saying fake stuff and just saying what she wanted to say. And then she did it to Devin. Like, she just Sammed Devin. Like, everything she said.
And everything is about her and not about the relationship between the two of them. So I totally agree. And like, I think it's funny because they show on the tell-all when like Sam is like, Sam basically she says to Sam, like, it was all about you and da-da-da-da-da. And like, Sam's just like, well, yeah, but it's like supposed to be about both of us. Like, she did tell him off good, but like she's doing that to Devin too.
Yes.
So it's like, I don't know. I don't get it. But I do have a really fun clip of Hakeem.
I love Hakeem. Oh, and he got the invitation to be on Bachelor in Paradise.
Yeah, that was the clip was from him having a spider on him so that he can go on Bachelor in Paradise. Listen, they're also probably going to have Sam because they need a good villain. Yeah. So, like, I don't know. I just feel like this season was more about who is the next Bachelor and who's on Bachelor in Paradise than it is about Jenn's love story. Maybe that's because it's more boring. But, we don't normally find out until last night who the Bachelor is. Right. And the fact that Grant was already been announced and everything, like, I don't know. We'll see. I think Grant will be a good Bachelor. And so I think that'll be fun. But it's just, like, so funny to me that they announced it so early. And then, I don't know.
Season is... It was exciting at first because the guys were fighting so much. It was more like that was way more interesting than her romances for the guys' relationships, and are fighting and arguing and like how oh my God, was he Matt, the one who was also friends with one who also hated Devin, was always like always like it's just they hated each other and there was so much drama, and like I liked watching that more than her dates. Her dates were always so boring. They're like, let's go somewhere really high. Let's be either on a plane or on top of something.
Every episode, and she has a fear of heights.
Yeah, let's go up high. But none of my fear of heights will come out except for the one thing with Sam. But that did make sense though, because it is jumping off something crazy and he was being a jerk. But I do think it's funny that in the end, Sam, who was the villain, Jenn is indecisive, seems not ready for it, is just regurgitating things people want to hear. And I'm like, are you a villain and you don't know it? Or maybe not a villain. I hate to say that, but like a person who I don't blame you for real. If somebody offered me to be the Bachelorette, it's such a great opportunity that you're like, okay, amazing, I'll take it. But like, I don't think that she's somebody who's ready for marriage.
I don't think she's ready for marriage either. And I wonder if she's ready to be engaged, because that's also like a big step. So just because you're like want to get married doesn't mean you have to get married right after the show. So it's like, but are you not ready to get engaged? I don't know. I guess we'll see next week. They have the finale. I mean, I think she's going to pick Devin still, because I think he is more like, it seems like she likes the back and forth where it's like, does he even like me? Like, she likes the chase, and he's more of the chase for her. So I think she's going to pick him, but we'll see.
Oh, Marcus.
She's picking Marcus.
I don't know. Yeah, they teased like a Marcus going to her door in the morning the same way Devin went to her door.
I know.
But who knows how that edited. They do the most Franken editing ever.
They really do.
Bachelor does.
Preview.
Yeah, they take audio from complete other days and put it over, more so than any other show I've really seen or been aware of. So who knows? But that one, good luck, Jenn. I liked her and thought it was fun at first, and then I was like, all right, I don't.
Yeah, I'm ready for the season to be done. I'm ready for Golden Bachelorette to start.
Me too.
I'm excited about that. I think that's like I'm excited. I think they'll be more fun to watch than this Bachelorette, the end of this Bachelorette season, but we'll see what happens. I don't have any new casting, and unfortunately, I think that is because the industry has just been a little bit slow. And so nobody really knows what's going on. So there's just not a lot of new shows or different shows casting right now. Like Love is Blind is still casting. The chef, oh my gosh, Gordon Ramsay is still casting his shows. But, you know, I think it's just like the industry's kind of been wonky this past few months.
It's also the end of the summer, and they're also trying to figure out how some of these new shows like The Anonymous and I think they're trying to figure out some of that stuff. And it's right now no casting, because it's like almost, I feel like after Labor Day we'll get more casting announcements.
I'm hoping that the industry picks back up. I'm hoping that like we get I mean, I haven't had like a casting job in almost 2 months, which is kind of crazy. But I know, but it's like that for everyone. I mean, I don't know anyone that's like actually like working really full time, except like the Jessies who are like working on Survivor, Big Brother, and Amazing Race all the time, you know? So I think we'll see what happens in the next few months. But I don't know, it's
my 7-year-old is standing in her underwear saying something. What?
I can whistle.
Oh, she just wanted to tell me she can whistle. America, she can
I love
the world.
whistling. Oh, we have comments. I didn't even know there were comments. Hi, Hannah.
Hi.
I think they must have just happened because I just now see them. Jenn's called out during Rachel. Oh yeah, Jenn's call out during the tell all. Yeah, that was a good call out. I mean, it was a good Sam deserved the call out, like for sure.
Yes,
like it's all about that call out. But anyways, well, if you don't have anything else, then we will see everyone next week.
Yes. This was maybe one of my favorite craziest weeks of Big Brother, but it did feel like it was like a lot of years. Like I feel like I need a nap and to go to sleep. But it was a huge one because Tucker is out, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and who couldn't even nominate, and we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, bye everyone. You can follow me at Rachel E. Reilly Villegas.
I'm at Jenn Hoffman HI, and that's it.
That's it. Yay.
Bye.
Bye.